Hydra is back on top as the best attack strategy any town hall level can use, so this is the only guide you'll need to 3-star consistently with the Hydra, no matter your town hall level. With there being 5 heroes in the game, you need the best hero lineup alongside the best build for those heroes. Starting with the hero lineup, your best bet is to be going with the Archer Queen, Minion Prince, Grand Warden, and Royal Champion. If you are upgrading the Minion Prince during this time, you can always use the Barbarian King instead. Now, with the best build for each of these heroes, we want to start with the Archer Queen, where I recommend her Giant Arrow and Healer Puppets, as this allows her to snipe off air defenses or air sweepers, while also being able to create a mini Queen Walk with the Healer Puppets. Of course, if you're Town Hall 14 and above, these are the pets that I would recommend running with her. Now, for the Minion Prince currently, he just has his 2 best options, which is the Dark Orb and the Henchman Puppet, both of which can provide some great value for air attacks, especially Hydra, where you have some spawned units, in addition to Ace ability that can slow for a bit of time, which can be great for your Hydra attack. As for his pets, on the other hand, this is why I would recommend running from Town Hall 14 and above. Now, with the Grand Warden, you can run the Eternal Tome and Rage Gem as a very good option. Since you are not using any rage spells with the dragons themselves, this actually does give the dragons a necessary damage boost, which is always going to be great. In addition, you have the Eternal Tome, which can protect everything. Now, you don't just have to use the Rage Gem. You can use the Healing Tome instead if you really do prefer having that healing, which can definitely help your dragons and balloons and dragon riders stay alive for a lot longer. As for his pets, these are the ones that I would recommend. And finally, we have the Royal Champion, where she can typically run the Rocket Spear and Seeking Shield, as it provides an essential a way to clear out remaining defenses from a distance without having her take unnecessary damage. This is especially true as you want to clear back-end defenses like air defenses from a distance, which allows your dragons to kind of close in on the rest of the buildings and help you get a 3-star. As for her, the pets that she can run is going to vary depending on her town hall level. Now that you have the best lineup and the best build for each hero, it's time to start your attack and breaking this down by starting with funneling. You want to make sure that you are using the Giant Arrow to snipe down any air defenses. Typically, I recommend 2 of them if possible. This way you can set up a Queen Walk with her Healer Puppets in order to basically establish one side of your funnel. Typically, I recommend going in for 2 air defenses on the same side, so that way you can use your baby dragon in order to set up the other side of your funnel. You can also bring in a dragon or 2 if you want to funnel the other side, which then allows you to have a funnel on 2 different sides of the base in order for you to then send in your dragons right through the middle. With the funnel set on both sides, you can send in your dragons, dragon riders, balloons, Grand Warden, and Minion Prince into the base. This is really going to allow you to take full advantage of the Rage Gem, especially early on, since you're not using any rage spells with this portion. This allows you to get a lot of value early on, and it allows you to delay both the Battle Blimp and the Eternal Tome. You want to make sure that you're delaying the Blimp in order for the Warden to get a little bit deeper, so that way you can use a later Eternal Tome to protect everything along with the Battle Blimp just before it leaves the aura in order to get that Blimp to the Town Hall. Speaking of the Battle Blimp, once you have that Worn Eternal Tome on it and it's able to get deep enough towards the Town Hall, you're going to use a Rage spell, in addition to using 3 clone spells around that Rage, and of course, trying to extend the value by covering a larger distance with the clone spells. This allows you to clear a large area off the base, no matter the Town Hall, because it's just going to do a ton of damage. Keep in mind that you can can fail this by separating your clones a little too far, so make sure that you overlap your clone spells so that way you get way better value and you're not messing up anything. Outside of that, the minion prince should still have his ability where you can use the slow effect to absolutely help your dragons and even the blimp in order to clear through a large area while not taking nearly as much damage, which is extremely impactful. Not only that, you have free spells that you can use towards the back end. This is especially true if you have any of your dragon riders or dragons moving to an air defense without any support from a hero. This allows you to basically clear through those without any issues. But let's not forget about the back end royal champion. So with the dragons working around the rest of the base, send in your royal champion to clear out back end defenses. This is especially important as there could be air defenses in order to stop your dragons from doing too much. So having the back end royal champion will help you clear out those defenses, especially when she has her seeking shield and rocket spear abilities, being able to clear these type of defenses and more without having to worry. This allows you to get plenty of great value while still being able to clean up and clear through the rest. This overall will make things incredibly easy and incredibly simple for you to absolutely dominate any base with this strategy. Now that you know each part of this army, it's time to give you the army compositions, but this time we're going to be basing it off of the housing space that is needed at different town hall levels. Since this composition really isn't going to change between town hall 13 and town hall 17, this allows you to live comfortably knowing that this can work at various town halls without worry, and you don't even need super troops. In addition, I would recommend sharing this with your clanmates or other clashers if they're also interested in learning and using the Hydra army. If you made this far in the video, then you should know exactly how this army works. So let's give you an example or two in order to really understand how to use this in full. Let's start with a diamond type design with rage spell towers, where we're going to be using the giant arrow to snipe off 2 air defenses. Notice how these 2 are on one side, which allows us to get great value. Additionally, we're going to use the queen with her frosty pet in order to set one side of our funnel. On the other side, we're using about a couple dragons, 2 dragons and a baby dragon in order to funnel out the other side. Since there's no air defenses there, we really don't have to worry. But of course, this allows us to pretty much send in our dragons, dragon riders, balloons, grand warden, and the minion prince. This allows us to delay the warden and delay the blimp a little bit, so that way that blimp can get deep enough into the base to get to the town hall. So that way we can protect everything, including the battle blimp, and then also prepare our rage spell and our clones in order to remove the town hall and other additional defenses like the monolith. This allows us to also use the minion prince's dark orb ability to slow down a bunch of defenses, which really does help, especially as we're using the back end royal champion to start moving through the remaining defenses. We have free spells at the ready to provide support for her against other key defenses like the ricochet cannon, while also using her seeking shield and rocket spear to snipe them down. Even freezing up the leftover air defenses really does help. Overall, this strategy is insanely overkill if you can really get everything through, and this definitely will work incredibly well for you. Now, if you're dealing with invisibility spell towers, you can still use this strategy, especially if they're in the core. You're going to use your giant arrow from the archer queen to clear through 2 air defenses, allowing you to have one side of your funnel be the queen walk, and then the other side can be a couple dragons or just a baby dragon. This allows you to funnel 2 different sides of the base, which is truly going to help help for when you spam in your balloons, dragons, dragon riders, the Grand Warden, and the minion prince. As you're going to be working in, the rage gem just offers so much value. So that way you can get your blimp deep enough into the base where you can use your Grand Warden's Eternal Tome to protect everything, including the blimp, and even using the minion prince's dark orb to activate the invisibility spell towers and use your 3 clones with the rage spell in order to perfectly spawn in balloons and get plenty of value. Just be sure that you overlap your clone spells so that way you do not miss out on any of your clone balloons. You've also got the Royal Champion on the back end to provide support in clearing out back end air defenses, and any free spells that you might have can be used on any other leftover air defenses. Otherwise, this is not really a hard setup to get through, as you should have more than enough dragons and power to clear through the rest of the base. 2 invisibility spell towers in the core, you'll more than likely be able to 3-star with an army like this, thanks to all of the different options that you have, and of course, the minion prince. This is why this strategy is super flexible amongst town hall levels and can be incredibly strong and be very much a game changer. Of course though, if you are looking for the minimum level for every equipment, I recommend checking out this video right here.